For anyone thinking about getting the CBR500R here, I have been riding it for coming up to 3 years now, and I'm going to tell you some pros and cons of this bike. Again, for anybody who is interested in buying it as their first bike or even as an upgrade. So yeah, I'm going to take you guys on a little spin, talk about it, give you some pros and cons. Alright, let's get into it. Whoa, I nearly stalled. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the first con that I kind of noticed straight away. The exhaust that comes with this bike, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound sporty at all. Or at least what you would expect it to sound like, being a CBR series bike. You know, you'd expect it to sound somewhat sporty, but the stock exhaust that comes with this bike is far from that. So if you do want something that sounds a little bit more sporty, you will most definitely have to change that exhaust, that stock exhaust. I don't know why I started on the cons. Don't people usually start on the pros? You know, I'll mix it up. Here's a pro for you. The fuel tank. I hope you can see the fuel tank. It is, from what I remember, it's an 11-liter fuel tank. And I swear, like €20 used to be able to fill this. And the range is amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure I've done 300 kilometers plus on one tank of fuel. And in my books, that's a pro. Because it means you don't have to pull in and refuel every 10 minutes. So that is definitely a pro for this bike. Now, on the flip side of that, the fuel gauge right here on your dash, the fuel gauge is not 100% accurate. Accurate? Yeah. I have seen people online say that about this bike, and I have experience with that myself. So the fuel gauge is not the best. What is this person doing? We're in 50, come on! Oh god, I hate drivers like this. He's doing 30 in a 50. Just move. I digress. I shall not rent today. But yeah, that's a con, okay, of the fuel gauge. As you see, actually, it's just gone up. It was at 2 bars, now it's gone up to 3 bars again. Oh, now it's back down to 2. Anyway, I digress. Now, another con of this bike when you first buy it, and it's not necessarily a bike issue, it's more the crappy stock chain that comes on this bike when you first buy it. I would change that out immediately. The reason I'm saying this is because I left mine on and I didn't change it, although it was suggested that I do so. I didn't do it. And what happened, or what ended up happening, is that my chain stretched and it came off in traffic. And that wasn't a good time. Now, luckily, I was stopped in traffic. I was like at the traffic lights or whatever, at red light. And it must have came off when I braked. Because when I tried to accelerate, once the light went green, my bike was not moving because of that chain slippage. So change your stock chain. Now, a pro of this bike is that the seating position is not super aggressive. It is comfortable, the seat is comfortable, the handlebars are not stupid low, so there's no pressure or pain on your wrists at all while you're riding this. so it is comfortable even on long commutes or long weekend rides or whatever, you know. It's not super aggressive. Okay, so another pro of this bike is something I've seen online actually, where people are saying, oh, it's not flickable. It's not flickable? This bike will flick as much as you can flick it. And although it's heavier, or it's on the heavier side of this class of motorcycle, like the 500cc class, it's very flickable for its weight. And anybody who says that it isn't just needs more practice, because it's not a heavy bike. I mean, it's heavy for its class, but I prefer that because it feels more planted on the road, in my opinion. And again, it is flickable. If I'm able to flick it, and I'm a very light guy, like I'm not athletic, I'm not bulky, I'm not strong in any like term or whatever. Like if I can flick this bike, so can you. Now, for another con for this bike is, I guess, the acceleration. It's not the fastest off the line. Say if you're in an overtaken situation or whatever, it's not the best to. Now, don't get me wrong, it can overtake cars, no problem. It's just getting up to that speed. You know, it's not very, you know, it's not very torque high, so, you know, it's not, I keep saying it's not. What I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is not the most rapid at doing the overtaking maneuvers. Will it get there successfully? Yes. Will it be fast? No. This is when I get bored in traffic, I'm just like, let's go faster. But I know we're into 50 right now. I'm doing 54, 53, 54. Now I want to leave this video, or I want to leave you guys with one more pro about this bike. I've already mentioned the comfort, I've already mentioned the fuel consumption. But now I want to mention the reliability of this bike. After 3 years of riding this bike, I have had absolutely zero issues with it. And to be completely honest, I'm not the best with maintenance. I haven't been keeping up with the maintenance schedule, and she still runs smoothly. She runs fine, perfect. I've had absolutely no issue with this. And you know what they say, good old Honda reliability. So if you're thinking about upgrading, or you're thinking about your first bike, I would absolutely 1000% recommend the CBR500R. Now this is the 2022 base model, and I know that, you know, the newer models, they have all those electronics and all of that jazz. My bike doesn't have that. This bike doesn't have that. So, if anything, the newer versions of this bike would absolutely be 10 times better than this. So guys, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want to become a member, the link is down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be good, ride safe. Look, the very last second. This is all your lane, idiot. Sorry. Alright, okay, love you, bye.